Hello and welcome back to another episode of In the Game podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Clinton. I'm joined by my co-host, Joe Tillery, and we are bringing you just peak excitement for College Football 25. We're just like 6 weeks away, I think is what we were saying before we kick the podcast off here. There is just so much going on right now with this game. I think at this point, it's almost what's the next big story going to be like that just kind of feels like where we're at next week. There's a lot of hype surrounding a potential Dynasty deep dive. There's a lot of guys starting to be able to talk a little bit more. Joe, welcome back. I'm glad that we're doing this. This is going to be a lot of fun. And are you looking forward to the game, or are you just, is it kind of,
Yeah, no excitement whatsoever. Just ready for, get it over with. No, I'm playing. I'm so freaking excited, man. This is like an unprecedented thing. It's been a decade, which feels like 100 years at this point. But
yeah.
man, I'm just stoked. I'm stoked we get to cover this. Stoked we get to talk about it. And just it's here, man. The reality is it's like a month away. I can't believe that. So I'm stoked about it, and stoked to talk about what we got for today.
Totally impromptu. Didn't talk about this before, which is what makes podcasts great. I'll give you mine first. It'll give you some time to think about it. A story or something like a tradition or something that you did when NCAA 14 or the previous versions of that were coming out. I'll give you mine first, just because I talked about this on the radio today with Chris Plank down in Oklahoma City. One of the things that I did for this game that was fun is there was this in-house rivalry with my dad. So my dad worked like this 3-2-2-3 shift where he would be he'd work nights and then would have a couple of days off. So it would be like, midweek sometimes he would have days off whenever I'm at school. And on those days when I'm at school and he was off, he would go into my room, fire up the PS2, and he would start practicing. And he would practice to the point that he was good enough that when I got home and it was time for a challenge, he would beat me sometimes. And so what it did was, over the years, and I think it started with like NCAA 2008 is when this really started. But over the years, there was this constant 2 or 3 months after the games would drop, like hardcore, I'm coming home, I'm getting my homework done, and I'm practicing because I'm getting caught up with dad. And he would do the same. And what it ended up doing is, I mean, obviously the memories there, but it was just so much fun to like pick random teams and go up against one another and like know whenever I get home from school, he's been practicing. So I'm going to have to like change up what I'm doing here. That's probably where the love for football really started. But Joe, what's something that you remember from the previous ones that you're excited to kind of pick back up again?
Man, I remember. I mean, in that similar vein, we had I had two brothers, both older, one pretty close to my age, so we were mostly us two, usually playing against my older brother, whatever the case is. And I just remember I was so absolutely horrible at the game for so long, or at least it felt that way. Like I played my friends from school and I'd beat up on them. I'm like, cool, that's great. But man, I used to get just stomped on by my brothers every single time. And I remember there was one time I played, and it was some Texas team. I can't even remember what it was. Maybe it was North Texas. Maybe it was somebody around that area. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But we played a game, and I remember I had lost to them like 7 times in a row. Whether it was my older brother David or Ben, I'd lose to both of them. And there was one game I won, and it was like a really low scoring game. I had like a late pick six or something happened. Some team in Texas, and I remember I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna be a fan of this team just because I won a game against those guys. I was like, this is the team I will only play with. I remember we loaded it up the next time, and I got beat like 63-3. It was just like, get off the sticks, put it down for a while. And, I was old enough to know better. I just got clowned on, basically. And that stuck with me, man. So I'm finally going to get a chance to relive not being terrible at the game. At first I will be, so I'll have to deal with that. But that was my mini arc. So I got my redemption arc coming up this time. I'm going to not be awful at the game is the goal.
There you go. I love it. Well, if you're on YouTube, you're probably wondering, as we're about 5 minutes into this, what the heck is this on the screen? This is something that we've put together and something that we think is going to be a lot of fun to discuss with you guys. If you're on podcast, we're looking at the best dynasty programs for college football 25. So we kind of discussed this a little bit last week when we did the dynasty deep dive, and what we're looking at here is we need schools that don't have necessarily the best prestige. So the old school rule, there was I believe it was actually 6 stars was the prestige level there. So I can fix that real quick. But we had 6 stars to choose from on prestige, and it could only be 2 stars or less. So that means you're not going to have Power Five programs in this for the most part. You're going to have your smaller group of fives, and then obviously with some of the new schools like Kennesaw State, Sam Houston State, Sam Houston. It used to be Sam Houston State.
That's still
You're
going to
going to
mix with
have
me for a long time.
Yeah. So you're going to have that be a thing where those schools just don't have the prestige, and so that's the first thing that you have to go off of. But when it comes to choosing what schools are the best, Joe and I have come up with a list of 5 things that we feel is the top reasons to choose schools. Once we lay those out, we're going to go through this in bracket form, and we're going to line out the 4 best schools to choose from each region. So. Number 1, uniforms. Like this is like I think we agreed upon this pretty quickly. This is the number 1 rule. If the uniforms are trash, your experience is going to be trash. Like that's just how it is. Number 2, stadiums. So we have some interesting stadiums. Arkansas State is one of those stadiums that kind of sticks out among the rest. They have the waterfall in the end zone that turns on whenever they score. That's going to be a super cool feature in the game, something to be excited about there. But stadiums, you can't have it can't be crap, man. Like you need to have, it needs to be hype. So you need to have a good stadium. The 3 is Mascot. Mascot plays a big role, especially with how much they have put into this game and how much realism they put into this game. So with there being mascots on the side, I think the fan favorite, as we discussed, is probably Western Kentucky's Big Red. Like,
gotta be.
He's just next level. That he's just next level, man. It's going to be really hard for him not to be the team that comes out of the Northeast region. But we'll see. App State's got some things to say about that. And, yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. 4th is location. Where is your team located? It's going to be really hard to bring a Wyoming or maybe even a Utah State would be difficult. But if you're looking for that challenge, that's something you could really benefit from. And then the last thing, which this is new to the game, is the transfer pipeline. Where is your school located in proximity to some of those bigger schools that are going to have the top end transfers coming out? Joe, what would you say outside of uniforms? Would you say location or transfer pipeline is more important? Would you choose for high school purposes in this game, or are you looking more towards building through the transfer portal?
I'm going to go building through the transfer portal. I think that the abilities and the special, and I don't know if they'll fully reset based off if a player transfers or if you'll have different mental abilities or physical abilities. But you look at a team like UTEP, and I don't want to spoil too much, but being right there to schools in Texas, you're gonna have spots like that, or different teams in Georgia. You get Georgia Southern and things like that. There's going to be a higher impact. At least if I'm head coach, forget high school recruiting to a certain extent. We'll bring in some studs that need to be cultured guys and develop. But get me through the portal, man. I'm going straight Coach Prime mode if I have to. You know what I mean? Where that's how we're building this short-lived dynasty.
Love it. Love it. All right. So, with that being said, we're going to go down here to, it is now bracket time. This is what we're breaking down. If you're on YouTube, you see it. If not, we have this broken down into regions. Northeast region is what we're looking at right now. what we've got to choose from. We've got Appalachian State, Ohio, James Madison, East Carolina, Toledo, Kent State, Akron, and Western Kentucky. So, first matchup, App State, Ohio. We going Bobcats or are we going with the Mountaineers? We've got this is an interesting one because Ohio did just bring up, just did update some of those uniforms a couple years ago, and the black and green is nice. App State's got some nice black uniforms too, though. So this one's tough.
I think of it's tough. My brain, I had an immediate answer in my brain, and usually when you see that, you think, well, okay, that's either a really great thing, I know exactly who it is, or it means you're just talking out your, So I'm gonna lean into it. I think. I think if I had to toss this one up, I think I'm going Ohio. I think I would roll with the Bobcats in this one.
Okay.
App State's got some studs, but I'm gonna put my hat on Ohio.
All right, we're going Ohio. I was split, but I was leaning a little bit towards Ohio, so I like that. That's good. We'll go this next one, James Madison or East Carolina. You've got the Pirates or the Dukes.
Dude, this is a crazy matchup.
Yeah, this is a good one. The purple, I don't know that I did this on purpose, but the purple on purple, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of Bulldogs in college football, but there's not many Dukes.
That's right.
There's also not a lot of Pirates. So this is tough. This is a tough one. So I think honestly, I think what I'm going to do here, this is going to go, for me, is going to go JMU. And here's why. James Madison is brand new to FBS. I think the newness factor is what works in their favor for me. It's an elite mascot still. Color schemes are fairly similar. I will say I do like the gold better than like the bright yellow. I think that matches, that's better. But what's your thoughts?
I think I'm slightly leaning towards East Carolina, but only because honestly, the reasons you laid out also factor into why I'm not going JMU. Almost not because they're so new. Like that's kind of a bum way to look at that. But almost the fact that there's so much allure, and maybe I'm getting too meta with this, that I feel like so many people would want to go to JMU that I'm like, let me push it back a hair. Let me go elsewhere. Go to a classic. So I think I like the Pirates logo. That's speaking to me a little bit.
Yeah, but also the Pirates logo is elite.
I also won't push back enough that. I disagree with you. I'd claw tooth and nail for East Carolina, so maybe I'd lean JMU.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. This is poor management here for the podcast. I've got a bucket over there. It's got quarters in it. We're gonna flip coins.
Okay, that's a good one.
We're gonna flip coins.
I'll entertain the people while we're waiting. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty sweet bracket play situation. We got, it's 4 regions breaking it down. We'll get our final 4 rolling. Bryan's on quarter duty right now, so we'll see where that ends up. But I'm pretty excited about this. I think the purple on purple unintentionally worked out really well with JMU and East Carolina. So we're about to see which team is going through.
So we've got JMU is going to get heads. East Carolina is going to get tails. This is a dime because we're balling on a budget here at Heartland College Sports.
No quarters. No quarters here.
Here we go. We've got tails. It's ECU.
Okay.
ECU is moving
Pirates,
on.
Baby. We're moving on.
All right, so your second round matchup up there is going to be Ohio versus ECU. All right, we've got the Toledo Rockets, Kent State Golden Flash. I'll be honest with you, this one's easy for me. I'm going Golden Flash.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like Toledo's Toledo. I've seen too much of Toledo. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to my Toledo Rockets fans out there, but give me Kent State.
Yeah.
How many Golden Flashes are there that come to your mind? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it's also the original place where we see Nick Saban, his legacy is born there at Kent State. So that kind of, and then this one we can just sorry Akron, this is a hard draw.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup for them, man.
It's tough, man. But Western Kentucky's moving on. Like that's not a coin flip for me. That's pretty
Shout
easy.
out to the Zips, but that doesn't make the cut. I apologize, Agri.
Yeah. All right. Second round matchup. We've got Ohio and we've got ECU.
You know, I actually feel kind of strongly about this one. And this is
I do
probably
too.
you do too? Okay,
I do too.
So
I'm going ECU.
Let's go. Is it Eastern Carolina? It's East Carolina, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm ECU, man. East
Okay,
give me East Carolina.
It's at this point it's we're breaking down logos, right? Like this is
I mean, that's beautiful. I mean, whoever designed that thing, man.
Yeah. Love that.
Buy you a beer or something.
All right. Man.
It's tough.
I hate to say goodbye so soon.
Mm-hmm. You got to do it.
But I think it's Hilltoppers, man.
You got to do it, man. The Hilltoppers, Big Red. You get to see like 10 different I mean, obviously we're playing a football game, so you're probably not going to see Big Red dunking a basketball, but like I think like there's a reason they rolled out like 7 different alternate Big Red logos. It's one of the most popular. You know, if you're a social media guy, I assume that's going to be factored into the game somehow as the different, allure of social media interest, or like what's the way they described it? It wasn't fully like maybe it wasn't brand prestige, maybe it was, but branding, is that what the
branding? Yes.
I mean, that's gonna be tough. So I'd go through with Western Kentucky over Kent State as well.
All right, just in case the people don't know, this is let me get this pulled up here.
This is a big one.
This is Big Red.
I mean, that's a beautiful man. What are we doing? Look at him with Grimace too,
dude. This is fantastic. Who would not want? Have you seen the shot where he like eats the cheerleader? Like he,
is he eating a volleyball in that one next to it?
Yes,
that's awesome,
he's chowing down volleyballs here.
I mean, what taking pictures. Doing?
He's just an excellent mascot. So, and then the Big Red uniform, the alternates are just those are elite. So
the side of the helmet, Big Red. Oh man, throwing the football, catching passes. I mean, he's got like 4 or 5 different alternates in Big Red. Like he's kicking a football in one.
Yeah, it's so good.
Not to just dunk on East Carolina like that in the round.
Yeah,
matchup
like
here, but
I just
I think they got to be put
pour
there.
One out here. Mm-hmm. We'll pour one out for East Carolina, but WKU is moving on here. So your best Northeast. Do what?
One last thought before we move on here. No, there's no shame in making it to the semifinal matchup in your region. No shame there for East Carolina.
No, not at all. Yeah, this is. I mean, you're Sweet 16 it right there. Like that's you did a good job. It's a great season, and you just unfortunately you ran into a juggernaut.
Yep, nothing you can do about that.
All right, we're moving on to the Southeast region. We've got the UAB Blazers, Georgia Southern Eagles, the Troy Trojans, if I remember correctly. Yep. Georgia State, is it the Panthers?
I think they're either the Panthers or the
Panthers
Cougars,
or the Jaguars.
Jaguars, some type of large.
Look that up for me, so I don't look like an idiot. I'm going to continue on. You got the Charlotte 49ers, Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
Right.
Kennesaw State. What is Kennesaw? The Owls. The Owls. Yes, the Owls. And then you've got the FIU Panthers. So
Georgia State Panthers as well.
They're the Panthers. Okay.
Yep.
So we've got 2 Panthers. That's not looking good. We need some. Okay. So this one is the first one we're looking at here is UAB Georgia Southern. Mm-hmm. I like the classic Eagle look, but how many dragons do you have?
Exactly, man. I mean, think about the different jerseys and the alternates. Give me that. Give me the logo. Give me everything about UAB.
I like UAB pretty easy there. All right, Troy and the aforementioned Panthers of Georgia State.
Yeah.
Okay. Hear me out.
Okay.
Georgia State obviously shares.
Mm-hmm.
They share the state with Georgia, so that's big.
Yep.
And they're also in close proximity to quite a few other big programs over there. You've got like Clemson. You're right there on the Florida Georgia line.
Nice shout out.
But no.
Shout out to Ben.
No.
I'm not repping them, but for the way they popped up there. I don't know how often you're going to see Florida Georgia Line sneak into a conversation about EA
I
Sports
cannot
College Football
stand
25.
Florida Georgia Line. I just have to put that
Not a
out
fan.
there.
That's fair. It's valid. It's not why people are here.
Troy is located in Alabama. So,
That's a good question. You know, I was going to say, to me, this one's, everything external makes it harder, like where they're located, everything. When I look at it at face value, I push through with the Troy Trojans. If I have to pick in this one.
Yeah.
Also,
so that's where I'm leaning, and it's solely based on the fact that the sword, the T is a sword. Like I don't know, like it's clean. I like
the logo for Georgia State. This is going to happen sooner or later. That mascot kind of weirds me out a little bit. The logo, I'm like, dude, I don't really want to see that on the side of the helmet as much as I want a sword T. I mean, what are we doing?
That's that looks like that logo was made in 1940, and they paid somebody to do it, and it got sent in via newspaper. So
you think about it. Think about the allure of getting like a quarterback with the same alliteration of like, Tom Trailer or something like that as your quarterback for the Troy Trojans. Like that's Heisman moment right there. Really
love it. All right, Charlotte, Southern Miss.
So the Charlotte's the 49ers, aren't they? Charlotte 49ers?
Yes.
And Southern Miss.
Golden Eagles.
Golden Eagles. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. I think I'm rolling Charlotte. I know the logo looks better.
That's where I'm going too. Where I'm going too. Okay, so I like that. Both in good recruiting areas. North Carolina's right. I mean, you're going to have plenty of guys from the South that would be interested coming there. Obviously, Southern Miss. I mean, Mississippi might be one of the most underrated states when it comes to recruiting. That's where Georgia and Alabama like to build their offensive and defensive lines. Is big boys from Mississippi. So
that's a hot spot right there. You'll get some good players.
Yeah. So that's that one's a little tough, but I'm going Charlotte. This one's really, really easy for me because I'm not a huge fan of most interlocking just letters. Like OU's it's not the best logo. Like I wish the Sooner Schooner was like the primary.
That'd be sweet.
So I'm not a fan of most just logos generically. However, Kennesaw State's interlocking is nice, and the fact that they're the Owls, Temple the Temple Owls are also, but Kennesaw State does it different, man.
Yeah,
this one's Florida. Now the one thing, Florida is located.
It's true
in the state of Florida.
Hard part is, I almost feel like FIU's its own thing, but there's probably a little bit of me that's going to want to be like FAU or like,
yes.
Even, man, how about a Florida Gulf Coast mention? I mean, that one might not be up to par, but, what are we doing, man? That's,
The only reason FAU isn't in here is because I don't think they're a two-star prestige. I think they're going to be a 3.
They're a low 3-star.
Yeah.
I agree.
The other team that would make it in here if it wasn't for being rated too high is the Chanticleers. Coastal Carolina Chanticleers would be, but I think they're too high. So
I think I'll roll with you on that for sure.
Yeah, I like Kennesaw State there. All right. Moving on, we've got can the Trojans slay the Dragons here? Can they slay the Blazers?
That's pretty sweet to consider. Yeah. I mean, the hard part is like it's located well too. You got to think a lot of that.
They're both in Alabama, so that is leveled out. So your location and transfer pipeline is like nil. It's down to stadium, uniform, and mascot. I'm
still with UAB on this one. Yeah. It's not an easy one. This is closer
than you think. It's a tougher matchup. Yeah.
But look at the Dragon, man. How many dudes are breathing fire? You know what I mean? Like we're talking about. That's incredible. Yeah, I'm rolling.
And this is a program that was like discontinued for a year and then came back. And then I think they went bowling like their first year back. So I don't know, just good stuff like them.
True.
This one for me, I think again, Kennesaw State. This one is. I have a soft spot for Kennesaw State. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fair.
Just with them being brand new, I really like them, and I like their color scheme. The color scheme is really what gets me.
I mean, And you said it earlier. How many interlocking logos? Like people get not clowned on, but you get a little bit of blowback for having interlocking logos.
Yes.
They're just kind of clunky. How many perfect interlocking logos do you see? Like, for K-State, their baseball team doesn't use the Power Cat. They have an interlocking logo. And I'm not going to dunk on it, but it's not Kennesaw State. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I think that's
Yep.
a really well done design for the logo. And
They
I think
do
there's a
it
lot of
right.
great there.
And that for some reason is really hard sometimes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now we've got this for me, this is the toughest one so far.
Mhm.
This
I
is the
agree.
toughest matchup so far. I like both of them. Let's we'll probably end up having to use the coin flip here unless
Yeah.
you feel pretty strongly about one side.
I'm leaning very slightly. Well, not very. Yeah, this one feels like a coin toss to me. But if I were picking, I was looking at the two teams, had to choose which side I'm picking up. I'd probably go UAB, but I
Okay.
wouldn't be convinced enough to not go coin flip mode here.
Okay, so let's look at UAB's uniforms. Let's just pull up the Google machine here.
Need it.
Let's look at what UAB has to offer for their uniforms this year. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah. So if you're listening to describe these, they kind of give off a weird, like, almost pseudo, like, watered down organ a little bit with the neon.
That UAB neon really screams the awful Michigan State neon green state that they have. Now, the white and green look here isn't bad. I like that. That's
I would
pretty
try
clean.
to exclusively use the white on white almost, or white helmets in any situation. I'm a little bit the one. Although was that a fan design? So there's one with a breathing fire dragon on the side.
This is not a fan design. This is an actual
throwback,
helmet.
maybe.
That
that one might. That one's going to keep me in it. The jerseys are kind of giving me. I kind of want to leave the jerseys behind, but if it's a white jersey, I'm okay with it. However, I'm not going to be wearing the whites all the time. So
this here's a good look at kind of the layout for what they've got right now. So
is that
black?
Is that black jersey bottom left?
Yes, it's black, but it has that neon green accents with it. So it just, I don't know, it's not doing it for me. I think the black with the gold would have looked great. So that's
there's an alley there. There's an area there that you can get away with it, but
all right,
not easy.
Let's close those. Here is what Kennesaw State is rocking.
Man, I'm such a sucker for yellow.
That yellow helmet's
it's got the racing stripes too, man. I mean,
my favorite uniform of theirs is simple. It's
Kennesaw State's
black.
In Ohio, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No. I believe Kennesaw State is in Georgia, if I remember
what
correctly.
am I doing? What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of Kent State still. I was still on Kent State.
Yes, Kent State. Yeah, Kennesaw State is in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Nobody come to me in the comments of this one. I saved it a little bit there.
Here's what your yellows look like. All yellows. They do have this owl, like, kind of feathered look here, which is not bad. But their best uniform is the yellow and black.
I almost don't think. The more I look at this, I don't know that I'd give it a coin toss in this one. I think you might have won me over a little bit more into Kennesaw State. The logo and the location does matter for UAB, which is a good push.
But they don't use the logo to its fullest extent.
And that green is so gross. You said the Michigan State thing, and now I'm like, dude, get that away.
I can't get it out of my head. That's every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's terrible.
And once again, similar to, I forget who went up against Big Red there in our East Carolina. Similar to East Carolina. Here's the other thing: East Carolina, in my mind, would beat UAB, and it'd be a coin toss at least for. I might even sway East Carolina if it was a different draw. So I think Kennesaw State deserves the head nod in this one.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so we've got Western Kentucky, Kennesaw State. Those are your two picks so far. All right, we are looking at, man, this is going quick. We're already 30 minutes into this thing. We've got Texas State, Memphis, Louisiana Monroe, Arkansas State, Rice and Sam Houston, La Tech, and North Texas. we're going Bobcats or Tigers here. Texas State is in a obviously they're in Texas. That's a very, very good spot to be.
I have a quick answer on this one.
Yep.
Give me Texas State.
That's who I was going to. All right. Cool. Like it. All right.
Cool.
Let's look at law.
Michigan's almost too mainstream to say, you know what I mean? Like it's too.
Yep. Agreed. Louisiana Monroe, the Fighting General Booties, or
that's right.
You've got Arkansas State Red Wolves, who have the aforementioned waterfall in the stadium. I'm going Arkansas. Huh?
I was going to say, this is a kind of a tough matchup for a first-round matchup here.
Yeah, this is tough.
But I definitely have my vote, and I think, I don't, you know, how long is General Moody going to be there after football? You know what I mean? Like, we're not getting multiple years. I'd roll Arkansas State. Also, the Red Wolves. I mean, that's pretty
Love
good,
that.
Pretty sweet. Good looking logo, good looking colorway. I'm in.
All right, Rice. Oh, here's another owl. Rice or Sam Houston?
Well, Texas matchup.
I can't choose food.
Yeah.
I just nothing. Every time I see rice, I think of a bowl of rice.
I also weirdly think of JT Daniels. Not that that's like a weird like dunk on. But he's been in my mind for too long in football.
I'm going Sam Houston here on this one pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that sways it a little bit. Sorry to keep running. The only thing that sways a little bit. Sorry to keep jumping back, but Sam Houston versus Sam Houston State in my mind is going to trigger me a little bit until I get that figured out. But I'm good with Sam Houston on that one.
Yeah, that's where I'm rolling. All right, we got North Texas, we got La Tech. La Tech Bulldogs, I believe.
Yeah, give me North Texas. Give me the mean green. I mean, what are we doing?
Green. I'm all about it. All right.
Shout out the history of Joe Green too, man. Give me that.
Let's go. Texas State, Arkansas State. Texas State has the Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights had the opportunity to be at Texas State. Has a, you know, if you're deep into the football lore, that's a big thing. But Arkansas State again, the waterfall. Maybe I'm too stuck on the waterfall, but how many schools have a waterfall in their stadium? Plus, red and black is a classic. Like that's a classic uniform combo. So
here's where the first example of where a program's located at comes into play. Sorry to jump in on you. It might have been on that topic.
100%.
You know, you've got the idea of you're in Texas versus Arkansas. You'll still get some guys trickling into the Arkansas area. But I almost think that that's enough for me. I'd be okay with rolling Arkansas State, take them over the area and the pipeline that Texas State has. I would go Arkansas State in this one. I think.
It's close, man. This one's close for me. But I lean Arkansas State too, and since both of us kind of lean that direction, I think that leaves us. We don't need to do anything as far as we don't need to do anything as far as coin toss goes. All right. Mean Green, Sam Houston. Sam Houston's new, both Texas area. I believe North Texas is in Denton. Obviously, Sam Houston's in H-Town. I'm going Mean Green on this one.
Yep, I can't fight you on that.
Yeah, it's very. It's uncommon.
I mean,
you don't hear it
too, man.
Yeah, the logo is just clean. Like
great looking logo.
It's good. All right.
Yeah, I'm with it. Plus, that's seeing Sam Houston and North Texas next to each other with the orange and the green is like I need to move on from that.
Yep. All right. Here's a tough one. These finals matchups are tough. Arkansas State, North Texas. Again, that Dallas area, it's really not that far away from Arkansas State, but with it being right there and it being the Mean Green, where does this put you?
This is another tough one. It's late in the tournament here. That makes sense, but there's a lot of history. The logo looks great. I mean, the logo looks great for both of these programs, first of all. Green, you can do green wrong. We've seen that in the past already with UAB. I have a very slight inkling to go if I'm looking at this for myself, I'd go Arkansas State personally. Even though
Okay.
I know people are going to hate that one at first, this feels as close to a coin toss matchup as I could get in my mind if I'm picking.
Yeah. So I will say this, and I won't take long on this one. North Texas does it right with the green. That black and green combo right there is as clean. The feathers, dude, like that's as clean as it gets. That is excellent. That's an excellent job. They did a really good job on that. So for me, I think this is coin toss time. Like that's where I'm going. We're leaving it up to fate. We've got North Texas, Arkansas State here. Arkansas State gets heads because they're a head logo.
Yep.
It is heads.
Oh, Arkansas State
moves on.
Now that I hear it, I feel good about that answer. I mean, it's tough, but I feel good about it.
Yeah,
Look at that
I
logo
like that one
too, man.
Yeah, that's an excellent logo. Whenever you say that, as it continues to like grow and get bigger, and you see more of it, it's like, okay, that's a good logo. Yep. So I'm happy with that. All right, final region here. We've got
we got some matchups in here.
Yeah, we got Wyoming, we've got Utah State, we've got the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, New Mexico Lobos, San Jose State Trojans, I believe.
Are they the Trojans or the Aztecs? Oh, yeah, Trojans. Aztecs are saying. Yeah, never mind.
And then we've got the Fresno State Bulldogs again, UTEP Miners, and New Mexico State.
Wow, and
I think New Mexico State is the Aggies too, as well. So, I think I'm going. I think right off the bat, I think this might be where like the wild card thing comes in. Not very often do you have a tradition at this level that's not that's worth swaying you. But the cowboy statue and like the similarities to some of the bigger programs where it's at, they're always playing in the cold. Wyoming coming.
There was a lot of Wyoming in that reveal trailer too.
Yeah. They're pretty proud of Wyoming. So I'm rolling Wyoming. Are you happy with that?
I'm happy. I don't think I can make the case for Utah State enough to win that one. Sorry, Aggies out there.
All right.
We got a lot of Aggies in this list too.
We do. Yeah, it's that West region. All right, Hawaii, New Mexico. This one's pretty easy. Only because, like, I know that it's not, the location is terrible.
Right.
Your pipeline really is terrible. But it's Hawaii. Like you have that going for you. Like you could go play in Texas where it's like terribly hot, or you could come to Hawaii where everybody has to travel to you. They're always playing with jet lag, and you get to it's beautiful year round.
I can make a case for New Mexico in the sense that I've got a personal bias. My dad's side of the family is all from Albuquerque area, so I've been to UNM a lot. But Hawaii, Hawaii kind of kicks ass in this one. I'm going to go Hawaii on this one.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's the Rainbow Warriors. I mean, what are we doing?
Correct. Yeah, I mean that's again the uniqueness is what stands out there. This one's pretty quick for me.
Yep.
I like is it Trojan or Spartans? I think it might be Spartans.
I better look.
That
probably doesn't bode well for us.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I think it's Spartans.
You don't want to know how I just spelled San Jose.
I don't.
No, you don't. Spartans. Yeah, they're Spartans.
It's the Spartans. Okay. The Spartans are moving on then. Like I'll make that executive decision right now. It's like we've got enough Bulldogs. No offense, Fresno,
logos, jerseys. Yeah, I'm with it.
All right. This one, I actually, which you may not even know this, I actually am. I help take care of some of the recruiting and team information for UTEP as part of what I do for Rival. So I have to remove myself from this one. I'm going to let you make the pick here.
Yeah, let me give this pitch here.
If you see what I did there, you need to make the pick here.
All right. Well, let me make a little case for both teams here. First of all, surprisingly good logo environment, like aesthetic matchup. You've got
Yep.
the UTEP Miners. Am I crazy for thinking who's there? They had a stud running back a couple years ago for
Yes.
UTEP. I
I
forget
don't
who
remember
it
his
was
name.
off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Someone was a superstar out of UTEP. New Mexico State. I love the logo. I love that there's 1,000 Aggies is my issue. And I do have a bit of a hard time getting past it. If you want to blow that up real quick, just so the viewers on YouTube can see New Mexico State, the Aggies don't ever seem to win any love. You know, they don't get any love. So you get, I mean, you
They
got
beat
the
Auburn
mustache
last year
gunslinger.
in Jordan-Hare.
Well, that's true. But I mean, like, you know, it's New Mexico State, not to dunk on, you know, New Mexico State. I love the logo. I love the gunslinger. UTEP edges him out. I think
Yeah.
New Mexico State deserves some love, but I will give UTEP the benefit of the doubt here. They've got that. I'd pick them in this case. Yeah, I think also the Texas location. I know New Mexico isn't too far, but you're going to get more Arizona athletes than you will Texas athletes in that area, I think.
All right, we've got two recruiting islands, pretty much. I mean, Wyoming is a land island. There's nothing around it besides open land.
Yeah.
And then you've got the actual island in Hawaii. Do you want cold or do you want it to be beautiful year round? Like that's your.
I want to be surfing on the beaches after beating, you know, an undefeated team. I want to be a rainbow warrior.
Yeah,
personally,
like it. All right. I recused myself from the first round, but I'm stepping in second round. We've got UTEP and we've got San Jose State, both in good recruiting beds.
Mm-hmm.
My argument here, though, is there is as good as some of the skill players are that come out of California.
Mm-hmm.
Your rosters are built with Texas players, with Florida players, and with kids from the South. So I think for me, I would have to roll UTEP because it's in a huge. I mean, I think their stadium holds like 60,000 people.
It's a giant
big.
stadium.
So I think I would side UTEP here, but that is that's my opinion.
You know, I'll make the case here. I'm tampering programs, man. I'm not even, you know, I'm dropping bags off of people's front doorstep. Doesn't matter what state you're in. I'm going for you. You know, I think it should be noted as well. I love the aesthetics. I love the logo of San Jose State. Their jerseys are not doing it for me. I mean, they've got the blue field, which is pretty cool, unless I'm looking at them playing. I think they have a blue field, unless I'm ridiculous.
We lost you for a second.
Oh, did you? Am I okay? Am I back? Oh, I hope you didn't lose me. Am I back in the fold here?
There you go. Now, yep.
Okay. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed. I don't know where I cut out, so I'll just re-hit that statement. Great looking logo, great looking colors. They don't come together on the jersey really at all, which is kind of weird. For everything else, it looks good. They've got the blue field, which is definitely something to talk about here. That goes into your wild card argument. But I think I'd pass. I'd rather side to UTEP personally.
Yeah. All right. UTEP moves on. So we've got the UTEP Miners. We've got the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Man, again, this one's tough, and it's all about like, what's your dynasty? Well, like, what's the point here? Do you want to turn Hawaii into a perennial 9-win team, or do you want to take UTEP out of the cellar of the Texas programs and turn them into a powerhouse?
Yeah. There's a skill curve in this one too.
This one's tough. If you have what it takes to turn Hawaii into a powerhouse, I think that proves your worth as a coach. Like, I mean, that's tough. That's a tough job.
Let me also jump in here. This is looking ahead a little bit, which maybe is unfair. Maybe it's unfair. You know, I should be focused on the game at hand, but you know, which program am I gonna say? Which of these is going to defeat Big Red, or which of these is going to take down Arkansas State? Which one of these is going to look like? Which one of these gives it for the run for the money? I would probably side Hawaii in this matchup if I have to consider, like, hey, what grind am I embracing? I'd be embracing the Hawaiian grind, personally. But I also could give a coin flip because they're both worth their own arguments.
Well, I think I think I lean Hawaii simply because they have their own thing going on, and it's the Rainbow
Yeah.
Warriors. Like
Right.
we've got the Hilltoppers. So here, let's just go ahead. We're gonna move. I'm gonna move
Yeah.
Hawaii on.
I think
I
that's
love the
fair.
logo too, like the shark tooth sword there on the for the H. I think that's great. So we've got the Red Wolves, the Rainbow Warriors, the Kennesaw State Owls, and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. So those are your top four. And the way that we're going to do this is, instead of us picking these, we're going to let you guys go through. Those are your final four. You go through and we'll kind of tally up things next week, and we'll talk about it and let you guys help us decide. But those are your four to choose from. As we said, we've got Western Kentucky, Kennesaw State, Arkansas State, and Hawaii. So those are your four. Joe, how do you feel about the four?
I feel great. I feel real great about this. I think we made the right picks. I don't see anyone getting too upset about these. But I was going to ask, are we sharing on both? Are we doing both comment section voters and social media voters? Should we plug that a little bit here? If you want to toss like our final four onto a Twitter, I guess X, whatever the case is.
Yeah. No, we will definitely post this over at Heartland as well on the YouTube or on the on social media. So
then I think that's great.
You're cutting out a bit on me.
My bad. I might have to respectfully leave the final format up to you.
Yeah, it'll be good. We're about done here on this one. The last thing we're going to talk about is next week. We actually have a special episode for you guys. Matt Brown from Extra Points is actually going to join us, and we're going to have some questions for him. We want you guys in the comments. What questions do you need answered? Like that's the big thing, because Matt Brown has been the guy. He's been the guy whenever it comes to answering things up to this point, and so he's agreed to come on with us next week, and we will record something with him and let us know what questions you have, and we will ask them. Joe, any parting comments? Anything before we head out?
Let's see if I'm connected. Okay, am I hanging in there?
Yeah, you're good right now.
All right. Hey, we're all about it, baby. We're ready for it. Let us know who's moving on here. We got the final four. It's big time.
Well, I appreciate you again, Joe, and obviously we'll be seeing a lot more of each other in the coming weeks as we prepare for this game to drop. But that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much for joining in and taking a look here. We are so excited here at the In the Game podcast. We can't wait to help build a community with you guys and get our hands on this game finally. And by the way, I probably should have said this about 45 minutes ago. Please forgive the halfway done paint job in the back. It will be finished by next week, so don't worry about that. But thank you guys so much. Remember, subscribe to the channel here. You help us out so much whenever you do that. We're also over at heartlandcollegesports.com. Go and get all of your Big 12 information there. We have you guys covered each and every day, better than anybody else. But until next time, we appreciate you, and we will see you later.